We won the New Hampshire primary. We won the Nevada caucus. We are going to do much, much better than people think in South Carolina. We're poised to do well on Super Tuesday. That's the good news. The bad news is that the entire political establishment, the economic establishment, is doing everything that they can to try to slow us down and to try to defeat us. And that is clearly what we have expected, because we are a campaign of transformative change. We're taking on Wall Street, and we're taking on the insurance companies and the drug companies and the fossil fuel industry and the military industrial complex and the prison industrial complex. And they're not all that happy about the success that we're having. So the reason we are doing as well as we are doing is because of the grassroots movement that we have. We have knocked on, I don't know, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but in California alone, we are close to 1 million doors having knocked on. We've knocked on many, many, many hundreds of thousands of doors in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina, and many, many other states. That's what we can do. And the reason we can do that is we have an extraordinary and unprecedented group of volunteers, which is you. You guys are the reason that we're doing as well as we are doing. You know, we have money and we're putting, TV ads on, and we're putting radio ads on and newspaper, all that stuff. But I have always believed that what is most important and what we are investing in is the kind of grassroots movement that we are running. And that's why I believe we stand an excellent chance to win the Democratic primary, and why we're going to beat Donald Trump if we are the nominee, because they can't compete with us. We have millions and millions of people who are prepared to get up and knock on doors and do all the important work that has to be done in this, the most consequential election in the history, modern history of our country, maybe the entire history of the country. So I'm just calling to thank you all very much for the great work you are doing. You are the reason that we are successful. You're the reason that we're doing something that is unprecedented in modern American history. So I want to just thank you all very much. Look forward to seeing many of you in person as I get around the country. And just want to congratulate you on the success that you're having. So talk to you soon. Missy, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Senator. Please hold tight on the line. We want to tell you exactly how you can help us win, not only in South Carolina, but win big on Super Tuesday. It's because of you that we are in a position where our movement has made political history. From how we fund our campaign to the way we organize, we have transformed what is politically possible by rejecting the status quo and building a movement led by and fueled by the working class. On Saturday in Nevada, we once again solidified that Senator Sanders is indeed the front runner in this race, and he made history by becoming the first candidate ever from either party to win the popular vote in all 3 early states in a competitive primary. But the establishment and corporate media is doing everything they can to undermine our victories and rewrite what is happening across this country. After winning in Iowa, winning in Nevada, winning New Hampshire, the pundits in the media claim that we still have not won enough. So the good news is, ours as a movement has always faced adversity and challenge, and we know how to overcome obstacles in front of us. We have proven the establishment wrong every time they have doubted us, and we are positioned to prove them wrong again. And it starts this weekend. Because of our commitment to do politics differently and to invest in grassroots organizing, and because of you, we are positioned to win South Carolina and win big on Super Tuesday. Because our grassroots support and donations, as you heard Senator Sanders say, we have invested in media in South Carolina and Super Tuesdays, but now it's up to you to help bring this home. In Iowa, the month leading up to the first caucus in the nation, people doubted our organizing ground game and our ability to win. But because thousands of volunteers made phone calls and knocked on doors and took the extra step to have conversations with their friends and strangers about Bernie, we won. We won because people in our movement, many of them for the first time, are willing to do something they've never done before. They are willing to volunteer for the first time, to knock on strangers' doors, to jump on phones and talk to their friends. It worked in Iowa, it worked in New Hampshire and Nevada, and it's going to work again. So that is why tonight we're going to ask you to make some commitments and help us bring it home in South Carolina and Super Tuesday. So I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Organizing, Claire Sandberg.
Thanks, Misty. Thanks, everyone, for being on tonight. And let's talk about how we are going to win. As Misty said, this is such an exciting moment for the campaign. We have come so far in the past year together, thanks to the work of millions of supporters like you who have donated, hosted volunteer events, knocked on doors, traveled to early states, made phone calls, and done so much more to get us to this point where we are 3 for 3. And following this historic double-digit win in Nevada, as Misty said, we are the campaign with the momentum. So let's dive into what comes next. First up on Saturday, South Carolina. The South Carolina primary, many pundits have always said that Bernie could never win, but here we are, neck and neck in the polls with a very real shot at winning the state and continuing this winning streak and making history together, going 4 for 4. We already know that it has never before happened that a single candidate for the Democratic or Republican nomination has ever won the popular vote in all 3 of the first 3 contests, and I think we're going to make history again on Saturday in South Carolina. Then, just 3 days later, we have Super Tuesday. That is the biggest day of the entire Democratic primary, with 34% of all pledged delegates at stake. On Super Tuesday, we have a lot of states voting. We have Alabama, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Vermont, and American Samoa. And as of right now, we are either leading or very competitive in every single Super Tuesday state. And what that means between Saturday and Tuesday, the work that we do over the next few days could mean the difference between winning and losing this nomination. So let's dive into what we're going to ask everyone to do. We need everyone on this call, no matter where you are, to get involved in this campaign and to put as much time as you can over the next few days. So number 1, if you are in a state that is coming up soon, we want you to go to an event. There are thousands of volunteer events all over the place in all of the states that are coming up, South Carolina, Super Tuesday, and states that vote on March 10th and March 17th. We're asking everyone on this call tonight to find at least 2 Get Out the Vote events near you, knocking on doors or making phone calls. If you can do more than 2, that is great. So if you are in South Carolina, Alabama, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, or Virginia, or if you're in the March 10th states, Idaho, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, and Washington. And finally, if you're in some of the states that vote on March 17th, if you're in Arizona, Florida, Illinois, or Ohio, we want you to sign up for as many events as you can over the next few days. So what if you're not in one of those places? Well, we absolutely need your help too. We need you to make phone calls on the Bernie dialer from wherever you are. We have actually already, and this has not been mentioned publicly yet, we have now made 30 million phone calls in this campaign, just through volunteers like you making calls on your own or at phone banks. And we actually have millions more that we are trying to make by Tuesday. We have a goal of getting to 10 million calls just this month, and we're very close to our goal, but we need a lot of people who are on this call tonight to sign up for as many call shifts as you can, at least 2 hours we're asking you to make a commitment for. And then finally, and I'll just say, by the way, if you're wondering, well, where am I didn't hear my state mentioned, that means if you live in Georgia, Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii, Louisiana, Wyoming, Wisconsin, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, New York, Rhode Island, Kansas, Indiana, Nebraska, West Virginia, Kentucky, Oregon, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, South Dakota, DC, Pennsylvania, and if you live in Iowa or New Hampshire or Nevada, or if you live in Vermont, we would love for you to make phone calls, and that is the best way that you can help Bernie win. finally, we spend a lot of time asking all of you to get involved and help us reach voters by knocking on doors and making phone calls, but you also, those are a lot of states that I just mentioned, and you probably know many people who live in those states, and you might be the best person to talk to those people. So the last thing that we want everyone on this call to do is to make sure that your friends are going to support Bernie and that they know how to vote. And we actually have a very easy way for you to do that, and that's with the campaign's own volunteer app called BERN. If you download BERN, it is easy to upload your contacts from your phone with a few clicks, and then you can say who's supporting Bernie, who's not supporting Bernie. You can find their voter record, and then actually within the app, you can send a text message to your friend with their polling place, or if they can vote early, you can let them know, you can vote early in this state, and you can make sure that they actually turn out and vote. And if you actually haven't used the app recently, we have a lot of new features. It's super easy to do, and we are asking everyone to spend some time adding everyone they know in the BERN app, especially in all of those states that I just mentioned. So, to recap, and this is on the slideshow, and you will see this, and we will post this for everyone, and we're also going to put this in the description. If you live in an upcoming state, we want you to join an event that's happening tomorrow and the next day and this weekend, Monday and Tuesday. Sign up for as many shifts as you possibly can. Everywhere else, make phone calls. If you're in one of those states and you can't go to an event, the dialer is open right now, and you can still make phone calls. So the dialer is open every day from 12 p.m. Eastern Time to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Sign up for as many call shifts as possible. And then everyone on this call, download the BERN app and make sure that all of your friends get out and vote. So if you're in an upcoming state and you want to go to an event this weekend, now is the time that we're going to ask you to think about what a Bernie Sanders presidency would mean for you. Think about what it would mean for your community, for your family, for future generations, and text EVENT to 67760. That's EVENT to 67760. And you're going to get back a text message that will give you a link. Click on the link, and you'll get a list of all the volunteer events that are happening in the country. And you're going to have to put in your zip code. You're going to have to click on Show Me Events, and then you'll put in your zip code, and you can filter to find the events that are closest to you that are happening in the next few days. And sign up for as many as you can. So that's EVENT to 67760. Now, if you're everywhere else and you want to make phone calls, text CALL to 67760. And you can hop on the Bernie dialer. You can sign up for a shift ahead of time, or you can hop on any time, 12 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and make those calls. There are millions of people who we have to reach, who we might not reach on the front door because they might not be home, or maybe they live in a rural area and it's too far to get to them, or they live in an apartment building we can't get in, or they work the night shift. And they're only going to hear the message about Bernie if they get the call from you. Or maybe they don't know their polling place and they won't turn out unless you call them, give them their polling place. And then finally, to download the BERN app, text BERN to 67760. And it's very easy in the BERN app now to upload your contacts. It just takes a few minutes. And there are probably people who you know who won't vote unless they get a reminder from you because they think that their vote doesn't matter, when it absolutely does. So those are the things that we're asking you to do today. We're so excited to be in this movement with you about what we can achieve over the next few days. We absolutely can win, and we are on the cusp of making Bernie Sanders not just the front runner, but the presumptive Democratic nominee, and then going on, moving forward, and making him our next president and defeating Donald Trump and getting to work transforming this country. But we absolutely cannot rest easy. It's easy to look at the polls and to get complacent, to think that it's all in the bag, but we have to remember that we're taking on the billionaires, Wall Street, the health insurance industry, the pharmaceutical industry, fossil fuel industry, and the entire political establishment. And we have a chance to win, but nothing is guaranteed, and we have to run and campaign and organize like we are 10 points behind, and let's see what we can do over the next 3 days and 5 days, and then the next 8 months.
Great. Thank you, Claire. Just to recap, what we know is going to happen over the next few days, the establishment is going to continue to throw attack ads at us. They're going to continue to second-guess our ability to win and tell us that we haven't won enough. They won't believe that we can until we win it all. And that's how we're going to put Senator Sanders in the White House. I know that's why you're on this call, because you believe in this working class movement. You have been the heartbeat of this campaign, and we cannot win South Carolina and Super Tuesday without you. So please sign up now, connect with your state staff, go to those events in your states. If you cannot do that, then we need you to get on the phone. It can be tough sometimes to start doing, but once you do it, it feels amazing to bring new people into our movement. And lastly, there's no easier way to GOTV, get out the vote, than sending text messages to your friends off your own phone. You can do it, at work, you can do it on your couch, you can do it anywhere. So thank you so much for joining the call. We look forward to winning on Saturday and next Tuesday together. Let's move forward together. Do not forget to text 67760, event, call, BERN. Thank you.